Good morning, everybody. It's Friday. I say it last because when I introduced Monday's Rabbi Burns live video for the Burns Supper, I said, welcome to Friday. I think I was maybe hoping it was Friday, probably wishing it was Friday. Well, at last it is Friday. And I've just been on a virtual Zoom call networking with Renfrewshire Business Networking, and that was fabulous. I sadly had to come off because I'd arranged to do this, but I'll try and join them after I've finished here. So I've called this Change Friday. Now, as this is still book month, and it to be a title of a book, it was kind of slightly long to put on Changing Seasons of Life Friday, but today is based on my book, Changing Seasons of Life. And there's a virtual event tonight. And hi there, happy Friday, Elaine, thanks very much. So tonight it's at 7 o'clock, it's an Eventbrite. I think you can go on and actually join. Please register, it's free, and you can get to ask me and Danielle McGregor, who's the poet that's in this as well, and ask us questions. But it's very important. Creativity and resilience are vital just now. So back to change. How do we manage change? Now, I've talked about this before. Remember, change is unavoidable. It's an unavoidable constant in our life. Change is sometimes within our control, but mostly it's outside of our control. Changes in the workplace, your role, they're all often outside your control. And even if you're a decision maker, when a company is reorganising the company, it might be outside your control. You can't control everything that's happening. So when change that you don't have control over, when such change happens, you need to adjust. You need to know how to adjust and be flexible. And what more have we found over this last year, and maybe ongoing for quite some time, is changes are all around. The pandemic is making things, even the introduction of the vaccine, which should have maybe elated spirits, it did for a while, then we all start getting still anxious and stressed. So we need to be able to adapt to these changes. Don't fight the change which is outside of your control. Take advantage of it. View the changes as an opportunity for growth. So here are some tips for today. And I've said them before and I'll say them again, but sometimes the tips for living life to the full are repetitive. We just need to keep remembering them. So find humour in every moment. And I've often said this, try to find a funny moment in every day. And it's so true for change. Finding something humorous in what's otherwise an unfunny situation can be a fabulous way to lighten the situation. And you see things from a new perspective. You'll feel better, and those around you will feel better too. Remember, of course, don't laugh at other people. You can laugh at your own troubles. You can find a humorous moment in your own struggles, but don't laugh at other people's struggles. That's not funny. Don't focus on what you can't do. You might think, well, talking about these unwanted changes means you're working through them, and you've probably been through that at work. You talk them constantly, it's on and on and on, and you think you're working through your fears and your frustrations and your anger, but talking about them a lot is really not the answer. Research shows that when you go over and over and over negative emotions, you're actually stopping the process of moving forward and adapting to change. Of course, that doesn't mean ignoring the problems. Don't bury your head in the sand. That's not good either. By all means, what you should be doing is identify the problems, get your anger and anxiety and your frustrations out at the start. Be aware of how the changes and challenges might distort your thinking. Just be aware of them, identify and be aware of them. And then you can take positive action. By doing this, you're focusing on the issues you can solve rather than moaning about the ones you can't. And I had a lovely talk yesterday, John. Thank you, Walter. I'll give a wave. He'll tell me later what that means. But with a good moan, it's great to moan, it's fine to moan. Have a good moan with someone and then maybe try and find a funny moment and turn it around. Don't stress about stressing out. You know the phrase that if you believe stress kills you, it will. Well, that is true. I mean, really, we can go on and on and on. It's actually your reaction to stress that has a greater impact than the stress itself. So your reaction has a greater impact on your health and success than the stress itself. If you believe stress is trying to carry you over a big obstacle or through a challenging situation, then you'll be more resilient and you might even live longer. So what do you do when you're overstressing? Well, ask yourself first of all, what your stress is trying to achieve. What is happening? Is it trying to help you excel, help you achieve? Is it like maybe you're going for a sales interview or a big presentation? Is it trying to help you with that? Is it trying to help you endure a period of tough market conditions or through this pandemic? Or is it just a temporary shift maybe in your organisation, the way they're structuring the business? Is it trying to help you empathise with a colleague or a customer? Or is the stress trying to help you successfully exit a toxic situation? Remember, there's constructive stress and there's destructive stress. And it's the constructive stress, the positive stress, that's a good thing. But you need to be able to see it as that, see what kind of stress it is, and choose to see it that way. Another tip is, hi David, thank you for coming on. And he's talking about humour as well. Humour is just fantastic. Another tip is be grateful. Focus on your values, not your fears, not your failures. Remind yourself what's important to you. Your family, your friends, your achievements. Do you have your achievement and inspiration board? I hope you have. Mine's up there and just behind my computer. I need reminded often about what I have achieved. And remember, on Monday, or I've said before, it's just the small things. Even if you've managed to get out of bed. So, it's just the small. It doesn't need to be, it's not that you've climbed Mount Everest or Kilimanjaro or run your 26k. That's fabulous if you have. But most of us, it's just the small things. So, praise yourself for these. And by doing this, you're helping yourself cope with change and the challenges that life throws at you. And we're getting that all the time. And when you do this, you change your mindset, you strengthen your mindset, and you change it from negative to positive. And that's just by doing a simple exercise. One of the simple exercises can be writing. That's the journaling. It's what you need to do is write down a time which positively affected you, something that made you feel good. And in my book, Changing Seasons of Life, there's pages here of, I've left blank pages. There's also pages of writing your health wish lists, your feel good lists, your goals. And there's also blank pages for I'm just looking here, but there's blank pages here, and I've called it creative spaces, and there's a few blank pages where you can use that for writing, poetry, prose, doodling, just doodling. I think many of us, I know when I used to be just on the ordinary phones, not Zoom calls or even the Zoom calls, you can sit and you just doodle. That's just doing something creative. But the Changing Seasons of Life, I'm introducing you to how powerful creativity is and how it builds resilience. So if you can write things down, things that have positively affected you, then you can reflect, and this helps you rise above the immediate challenges and struggles. You start to understand then that one challenging situation does not change your personal identity. But you need to be doing this yourself. Remember, the next tip is you have a choice. We forget that. You have a choice. Accept the past. Remember, you're never free from change, but you're always free to decide how you respond to change. And of course, I've mentioned before Viktor Frankl. I know it's an extreme example, but he was someone who kind of promoted this. Remember, he returned home from 3 horrific years in the Nazi death camps, and he discovered that his mother, his brother, his wife, his unborn child, they were all dead. Now, everything in his life had changed. All that he loved was lost. But he began to discover that even though he could never go back to the life he once had, he realised he was now free. Free to meet new people, find new love, do new things, and work with new people, enjoy music, read books. So he called this hope, he called the hope in the face of despair, tragic optimism. Quite interesting. So you can lose loved ones, lose everybody, but you're free to choose how you deal with these things. And of course, as I say, that's an extreme example, but you can still find inspiration from it. Don't focus on the limitations of change. If you do this, you'll become stressed, bitter, overwhelmed, and even full of despair. Be like Frankl. Use your freedom to decide what to do next in the face of change. It's really inspiring and uplifting. The next tip is be flexible and adaptable. Oh, I need to do my wee waves again. Wave to Alan, thank you. Wave. Oh. I've waved too much at Barbara there, the phone's gone. Right, so the next tip is to be flexible and adaptable. Adaptive people who are able to adapt choose to view all changes, whether they're wanted or unwanted, as a kind of expected part of the human experience, rather than just some tragic anomaly that victimises unlucky people. You know, don't get consumed by thoughts of, oh, the good old days. Don't waste energy on trying to work out why this happened to me. You have heard people, oh, bad things always happen to me, oh, it's always me, I'm always the unlucky one. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. It brings you down. So you need to choose to view these in a different way. Now, you might find one or all of these techniques, some of them work better for you than others. We're all individuals. But what everyone should or must do if you want to be more successful at coping with change is accept that change happens. And of course, to help you with the whatever coping method you use, I recommend that you use my ABC techniques. They are proven, effective psychological techniques for helping you manage change, just helping you to live life in as positive a way as possible. And I've realised over the years that, and I think I've often talked to people about this, that the techniques are very simple. Often when something is very simple, people go, oh, well, they won't work. Or they're so simple, I've forgotten about them. And that's probably true. The hard bit about my ABC is you have to make it your good habit. And I'll repeat it again. To make anything a habit, you've got to do it there's different research from 28 days to 60 days. I've hit on just 30 days. You've got to do something for 30 days. Now, the hard part, you're going to go, yeah, I could do that for 30 days. The hard part is that if you miss a day, the 30 days has to start again. Now you're beginning to realise that how kind of difficult it can be, even with the breathing. I do it all the time, the effective breathing. And if you do yoga, or you've been a singer or drama or anything where you've had been taught voice projection perhaps, but you can learn this. It's from the diaphragm. And as you're sitting in a chair, walking, it doesn't matter. Practice it all the time. It increases the lung capacity, it calms you, it relaxes you, but it also energises you. You're bringing oxygen into the bloodstream. And I do it all the time. So it is my good habit. But if you've not been doing it, even my daughter sort of said to me, I can't do that. I'm like, I said, dump the word I can't. You can. It may be difficult or a bit unusual to begin with, but once you're into the swing of things, it's fabulous. And of course, it stops you being angry, it stops you getting frustrated. It's amazing. And it's free. I mean, I can't believe this. If I could, I suppose, get a penny for every time I've said this, I'd be sitting like a millionaire. But, you know, my techniques are that they're like a friend on the shoulder. And that's the whole idea of it. And what I've realised is that hopefully by doing these live videos, even 3 times a week, maybe my daily ones were better. And I'm not sure whether I should maybe start doing a short one every morning just to say, right, we'll do our ABC this morning. But I think I kind of would need maybe somebody to help me out by subscribing into it. Anyway, I can think about that. So you remember your ABC. Well, so what's the A for today? The affirmations. Do we remember what they should be? It's the 3 Ps. Personal, positive, and present or past tense. Not future. Not, oh, I will manage change that happens next week. It's got to be now. There's somebody saying Franco's little book. Yeah, I mean, I've got it. Absolutely amazing. So it's got to be present or past tense. So it could be, I managed change. I managed change recently. Or today's present one would be, I manage change positively. And of course, B for breathing. We breathe in through the nose, pushing that diaphragm, that tummy area out, hold, and then exhale slowly through the mouth. I do it to the count of 3. Speaking to somebody recently, I think if you're a singer, some of the exercises, if you're in a choir, before you start, they do the breathing exercise to the count of 3, then it's 5, then it's 7, even up to 10. So it's with practice you can get holding it more and longer. The C for today, well, I've got to choose, of course, changing seasons to fit in line with my book. I hope you join me tonight. Remember to register, it is free, and then you can come on the Zoom call and ask anything you want. I might recite one of the stories. My stories are very abstract. They're all personal stories that have happened to me, but I've turned them around. So perhaps if something happened to me, that person now happens to be maybe a farm animal. So you've got to read into these, and it's to get your creative juices flowing. So the good meditation today is changing seasons. And if we just want to all sit together, what is this? Somebody saying, is my central heating not working? What are they saying? Is my central heating not working? No. I'm hiding the wrinkles in my neck, David. Oh dear. No, it does work, but I don't, well, there's another thing. I don't know whether people find this, but actually, if your central heating's on, even when it's on, if you're sitting and actually, there we are, Isabel, if you're actually sitting doing nothing, you can actually get quite cold. It's interesting that sometimes, if I was before the pandemic, if I was babysitting, I'd only babysit if they turned the central heating up for me. And we're going, this is really hot. I said, yes, but if you're not moving around and walking around, and, you know, it seems to get colder if you're just sitting. And of course, many of us are probably used to when we used to go into work. The workplace was, you know, hopefully at a temperature we could sit at. Now we're at home, we're having to spend all that ourselves, turning the heating up. Anyway, back to the meditation. So I'll rank up the central heating a bit more, David, or take the scarf off. No, that it looked good. That's the whole point of it. Anyway, so feet on the ground and back straight, not stiff. You don't want to be stiff, just comfortably confident. Because if you've got a straight back, then it's positive. Now, just on saying that, David, my central heating has just come on. I tend to turn it off because I can hear it when I'm on the video. Anyway, you're getting me sidetracked this morning. Anyway, that's maybe a good thing. So let's get to changing seasons. This meditation is just, it's fabulous when you want to face and manage change calmly. and think of this. If there's any change happening, just get yourself in. They're only 2 or 3 minutes long, maybe less. So close your eyes, your feet are on the ground, and take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold, and then exhale through the mouth, slowly through the mouth. Now I want you to imagine yourself in a lovely garden. There are beautiful flowers all around. Take a moment to admire the glorious colours, the beauty of nature. Imagine your favourite flower. It can be anything. It doesn't need to fit with the seasons. It can be a rose, a bluebell, daffodil. It's your favourite flower. Take a moment to admire the softness of the petals. Smell the scent of the flower. Touch the softness of the petals. Now imagine the garden in the changing seasons. Imagine spring, when nature is coming to life. The buds are opening. Leaves are beginning to grow in the trees, luscious green leaves. Imagine the sunlight getting warmer. It's now summertime, and the sun is beating down on the leaves and the flowers. You can feel the warmth on your face. You watch the garden as nature changes seasons. Now imagine autumn. Imagine the leaves on the trees changing slowly from a luscious green to golden sunlight, bright yellow, and then to russet red. Then imagine you're now standing in the quietness of winter. There's a dusting of snow on the ground. It's peaceful. It's quiet. Breathe in the pure air. Feel the stillness. Now take a deep breath in through the nose and breathe in that pure air. Let it flow through your body and mind. Hold and exhale slowly. As you breathe in again, say to yourself, I know that change happens. I can manage change positively and calmly. Now you can open your eyes and just yawn and shuggle your shoulders just to relax yourself again and just get yourself back in the present. Now you can do this any time you want and just say to yourself now, I manage change calmly and positively. And of course, I hope that you join me tonight. Please, Eventbrite, join 7 o'clock. You'll be able to, it's a question and answer, so you'll be able to speak with me and Danielle as well. I really hope you join us. A fun evening, but learning about how creativity can build resilience. And of course, I always leave you with smile, it costs you nothing. Laugh, it costs you nothing. And of course, laughter is the best medicine. Find that funny moment in every day and really every situation. Virtual hugs to all. I'll be back on Monday morning. Now, if you do have a suggestion for a title, I know we're into February on Monday, so gone is book month, but any title, if you've got a suggestion for a title, a constructive suggestion, please, for a title for the video, then you private message me or post up on Facebook. And of course, if I choose your title, you get an hour's call with me. So please enjoy today and hopefully see you tonight, and have a fabulous weekend. And you inspire and motivate me by listening and watching. And thank you again. Virtual hugs to everybody.